What's that, Benny the Beaver? Ah, Oregon State University is a great place to study AI? Thanks for the secret. Hi everyone, my name is Casey Glick and I'm the Director of International Marketing and Recruitment at Oregon State University. Not only that, I'm also an alum. I studied my undergraduate and my master's program there, and I'm really excited to get to talk to you about it. Oregon State University is a big public university on the west coast of the United States. So right in the middle of Oregon, Washington, and California, which is a wonderful place to study. We have a large American-style campus with over 400 acres, 200 buildings. It's a great place to study because you're constantly surrounded by your peers, your professors, and all that campus has to offer. We have over 200 programs at Oregon State University. Our largest program is computer science. We have a lot of engineering programs like mechanical, chemical, electrical engineering. We have a great business program as well. And then we do a lot of research, so our sciences are really strong. Earth science, health science, life science. There's over 200 options for you to choose from, and so I'm sure you'll find one that fits you. One really exciting thing about Oregon State University is we recently held a seminar on artificial intelligence. And so we had executives from big companies like Microsoft and Intel come down to campus to talk about how AI is affecting education. And our most famous alumni, Jensen Huang from NVIDIA, was also there. He was there for two reasons. One was to participate in the symposium, but the other was to break ground on a new facility that he provided the funding for. This will be the 5th most powerful quantum computer in any education system in the world. And it's going to host an AI system, meaning that our campus will have access to its computing power for learning from the students, for teaching from the professors, and of course for doing our research. He's really helping us steer the university to make sure that our graduates understand this new technology and how profoundly it is going to change the world. What he talked about when he was on campus is that really the power of AI is taking the skills that used to be confined to computer programmers, right? So if I was a computer programmer, I'd be able to write a program and then the technology would do the work for me. But now with AI and generative AI, we're able to take those same tools without having to be a programmer, meaning that if I'm a researcher, I can have AI assist me in my research. If I'm a business, I don't need to hire a team of computer scientists to write a program. I can use AI to capture that power. And so we're building this into all programs at OSU. It doesn't matter if you're studying art, if you're studying political science, economics, business, engineering. We want to make sure you understand how to use AI because this is the #1 skill that all employers are looking for right now. And so that's going to be the core of your degree at OSU. First of all, this is a technology that absolutely is going to change the way that we do our work. And we want to make sure that students understand that. So during the seminar, when Jensen Huang was on stage, one of our students raised his hand and said, "Hey, I've got a question. I chose business analytics in my program, and I'm worried that AI is going to be doing all the analytics. I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to find a job." The university said that, look, if you graduate with a degree in business analytics and you're not using AI, yes, it's going to be very hard to find a job. If you've taken coursework, which is built into our program that allows you to understand how to ask AI to do certain tasks, building it into all coursework and making sure that students kind of understand how to use AI, then you're going to be the most valuable employee that the company has. At the center of everything that we use AI is the person that's using it. And we want to make sure that you're equipped to be able to understand the perils of AI. We don't want to trust AI completely at this point, right? We need to make sure that we are vetting the kind of work we're doing with AI to make sure it has the appropriate use. And so these are the kinds of conversations that are happening on campus right now between faculty and students. We just signed a contract with Hewlett-Packard. They have a research campus right next to our physical campus. We're going to be looking at microchips in that facility because as you know, if you have an AI system, it means you have a lot of servers, a lot of microchips, and they give off heat. And so we're actually looking to how we can reduce that heat that comes off of those servers. If we're able to reduce the amount of heat that comes off of microchips, even by 5 or 10%, that's going to make a huge impact globally and help us in our fight against climate change. So one thing we take very seriously at Oregon State University is making sure that our students graduate and are able to jump right into their fields. And so this is something that starts from your very first day on campus. We challenge all of our students to be thinking about their career path and what kind of skills and experience they're going to need to get there. We are a very hands-on education, experiential learning as we call it. You're also going to go to the places where that work happens. For example, many of us don't work in an office, or we don't even work inside. Some of our students even have classes out in the forest. You're going to get the experience the way that the work actually happens. Another way that we do this is through collaborative learning. If you've had a job before, you know you don't get a lot of tests from your boss. Instead, you're going to get assignments, right? They're going to say, hey team, accomplish this, solve this problem. And so that's the same kind of experience that we put into our classroom. So instead of taking tests, you're actually going to get to work together with peers, both in your field and outside your field, on real live projects. Our Master's of Science Business program is the Capstone. Capstone is the final project that students do to prove their learning. One of our recent projects was partnered with Starbucks. Starbucks is a big company based in Seattle, Washington, and they came down to us and they said, we need to be more efficient in the way that we deliver our products to our stores. So they gave the data to our students, and the students had to see if they could make a more efficient delivery route, plus reduce the overall emissions of the vehicles. So this is a real live project coming from a real corporate partner from OSU. Another great opportunity is for internships. You take the skills that you've learned in the classroom and then apply them in a real life situation with professional mentoring. For our engineering programs, where our students get to go up and work for companies like Boeing, Intel, IBM. During that time, they're working in the facility. So they might move to Portland, Oregon, to Seattle, to San Francisco, live in that city and work in the facility of the corporate partner. This is a great opportunity because not only are you getting the chance to learn from that corporate partner, but you're getting that work experience. Because to get a job, employers want to see that you know how to do the work. By doing the work at a corporation like Intel or IBM, you're already going to have that skill set and you're really going to stand out. Like I said in the beginning, OSU is really trying to make sure that everything that you do on campus, whether it's club, projects, internships, it's all building towards helping you have a very strong resume that stands out from your peers. Because if you go into a program like computer science and apply for a job, everybody is going to have a computer science degree. So you need more than that. Our students have a very high placement rate for OPT. We have over 450 students that are currently working on OPT. And it's through all their hard work, through those experiences, and then with the help of our advisors that our students are able to find that placement. OPT is optional practical training, and it gives you the chance to stay in the US and work for 1 to 3 years in your field. And this is a great opportunity. Once you're a student at OSU, we want to use every single minute to make sure that we're preparing you for your career. And this starts from the day that you get to campus. And so we have our Career Center students to do 3 things at once. The first thing is you need to be thinking, right? You always need to be thinking about what is your career goals and what activities can help you achieve those goals. Our Career Center also asks students to make decisions. So there are different points throughout your education where you're going to need to decide. Do I want to do a minor? What classes should I take? Where am I looking for jobs? How am I building my network? The third thing that our Career Center does is make sure that students are actually committing actions. And so this can be joining a club. For example, we have a robotics club. This robotics club is divided into teams where you get to work on a project, and then you get to take that project and compete in national and international competitions. A great way to show that you're a very strong candidate on your resume is winning international competitions in robotics, right? So we're making sure our students are doing these activities throughout their entire 4 years if they're an undergraduate, or 1.5 to 2 years if they're a graduate. The Career Center really helps students make sure that they're mapping that out and working backwards from their dream career to make sure that they get that job. Another thing that the university can do to help students get jobs is actually work with companies and corporations. Being on the West Coast, we're connected to some great fields, whether it's our outdoor apparel design or all of the AI-based companies like Intel, Amazon, Facebook, Google, NVIDIA, of course. We're connected to these different industries, and we've got some great professional faculty that work very closely with them. The best way to get a job is to have your faculty member call up someone he knows at a company and say, hey, I've got a great student for you. Another thing that we do is we work with smaller employers. And so while those big companies I just mentioned are very good at hiring international students, some small companies don't have the knowledge or understanding to hire international students. And that's where our OPT advisors step in. And so they'll work individually with these small companies and convince them that it's very easy to hire international students. And so they'll help them with the paperwork and give them the confidence to hire a student for their OPT. So through these different activities, both from the student side and the university side, we see great job placements at OSU. You know, it's always part of my job to meet with alumni, and I like to ask them, well, tell me about that first job. How did you get that first job? And I get to hear some great stories, but a lot of the times the story is, well, I was really nervous. I had finally gotten an interview with my dream company. I sat down, and as I started the interview, the panelists introduced themselves, and one of them was from OSU. And I love hearing that because it means generations of OSU graduates are working at these companies, and they're infused into the different layers of the companies. Your degree stands out when you graduate from OSU. AI is changing our world. It's going to change all of us in the way that we work, the way that we act, and even in our social lives. We're very excited to welcome you to the OSU family. If you want to come to Oregon State University, which is at the epicenter of AI and how it feeds into students' careers, then come down to EDU and learn more. Does that make sense?
You've got it too fast.